A new expose raising eyebrows about Democratic Pennsylvania Senator John Fetterman. According to his staff, Fetterman was avoiding the regular checkups advised by his doctors. He drove his car so recklessly that staff refused to ride with him. He also bought a gun. Fetterman was isolated, had damaged personal relationships, and was shedding staff. And they expect more staffers to depart. So what gives with the takedown? Maybe our next guest knows. She's been covering Fetterman from day one. Pittsburgh-based columnist Selena Zito joining us now. My friend, listen, this sounds like somebody has it out for this guy, and I'm just curious, is it because he's trending more centrist, or is there more to it than that?
Well, I suspect, I mean, I'm not inside the head of the staffers that were participated in this story, but I think that these staffers didn't have a fundamental understanding of who John Fetterman was before he had his stroke and was recovering from that and his depression. Leading up to 2022, Fetterman has always been a very independent elected official, whether he was mayor or lieutenant governor of the state. He's never really been the darling of his party. If I remember correctly, his party's never even endorsed him when he's run for office. The only time I ever saw John Fetterman not himself was in 2022 when he was running, and he was obviously recovering from a stroke and to his own admission, recovering from depression. But if they're shocked and surprised by who he is today, then they never really knew the real John Fetterman. This is a guy who has emerged after leaving Walter Reed for treatment as himself. This is who he's always been. He's never been the darling of the Democrats. He's always been his own person. And I think they're the ones that are stunned by it. And I think it's interesting that they decide to do a story about him and disparage him in the way that they did in this story.
Yeah, if you haven't had a chance to see it, folks at home, let me share the headline. This, of course, is from New York Magazine. It reads, "All by himself. John Fetterman insists he's in good health, but staffers past and present say they no longer recognize the man they once knew." 15 seconds to go, Selena. Does this amount to anything, or is this much ado about nothing?
This is very DC and not very Pennsylvania. He enjoys a robust support and approval rating among Democrats and Republicans in the
Yeah.
state. And so I think this is a DC thing and not a Pennsylvania thing.
I think for people who don't know that state the way you do, the way I do, there's an awful lot of red in that state. It's not as bluish as some people like to make it out. I think it's a fairly balanced state. John Fetterman enjoys a great deal of support among red and blue voters. Selena Zito, great to see you, my friend. Appreciate that. Have a great weekend.